So we have our vector projection at an angle. So what we're going to be looking at is trying to find the angles, the three angles of this positional vector. Okay? This vector being OP, O the origin, and P this final point in space. What we're going to use is our dot product formula to help us find theta in each of the angles that this vector makes with each axis. Okay? So what we'll be doing here is we're going to be projecting it onto a unit vector. Okay? So our first unit vector, usually known as I, is the coordinate of 1, 0, 0. The second one, J, is 0, 1, 0. And the third one of K is 0, 0, 1. Okay? The goal here is to isolate for theta. So you can memorize this formula if you like. Just go back up a little. But we can just rearrange our dot product formula to write it as theta, or cos theta, is equal to our dot product of A and B divided by the magnitude of A and the magnitude of B. Because we're projecting on a unit vector, what's going to end up happening with the magnitude of B? Let's say the unit vector is always going to be our B in this case. Does anyone know what the magnitude of B is going to be? It's going to be 1 every time. So a lot of times in your textbook, they'll leave this out, but it is technically there. They're just rearranging this formula. Okay, a lot of times they'll just tell you to divide by the magnitude of the vector. But do keep in mind that you are just using this formula and we're finding the magnitude of B. So let's find the dot product of the two. B is always going to be our unit vector. So if I'm finding theta, that means theta is the angle between the x-axis and our projected vector here. So cos theta is equal to the dot product of A and B. So A dot B is our first vector of, what did I write? 2, negative 3, 5. 2, negative 3, and 5. And 1, 0, and 0. What is our dot product going to be of these two vectors? Anyone know? Yeah, remember the process is we multiply the x's by each other, the y's by each other, and the z's by each other and add them together. Well, because we have two zeros, these are going to cancel out. We're just left with the value of 2. So our dot product is relatively simple to come by. The next thing we have to do is find the magnitude of A and B. Now, we just discussed what the magnitude of B is going to be. What is it? It's just going to be 1 because it's a unit vector. So we're going to be multiplying by 1. That's simple. The next step is to just find the magnitude of A. Okay, so we're going to take our value of A. And remember, if we find the dot product of the vector and itself, that gives us the magnitude of A squared. So the idea here is we take 2 squared plus negative 3 squared plus 5 squared. And we get 4, 9, and 25, which is going to give us 38. So the magnitude of A is root 38 in this case. So we go back up, root 38. So we're going to be looking for theta will be the cos inverse of 2 divided by root 38. I'm going to ask one of you guys to help me out with that. Calculator on the computer is slow. Just funny because it's a computer. But
71.1.
71.1. Excellent. So 71.1 degrees is the angle that our projection vector makes with the x-axis. That's only one of the angles. Okay. Our next angle, we got to use another symbol. Use a stat symbol, mu. We'll be looking for the angle between the y-axis and our projected vector. So we're going to run through this process again. Hopefully it's a little simpler. Remember, we're looking for cos mu this time. That's just a symbol. You can put any symbol we want. Of the dot product of A and B, which we already know. What was it? Anyone remember? 2, right? Oh, sorry, I lied. It's different this time. Thank you. The magnitude of A will stay the same. Sorry, that's the number that stays the same. So magnitude of B, again, we already know is going to be 1. And the magnitude of A we know is going to be root 38. The only difference in this question is going to be our new dot product. Because we have 2, -3, and 5. But this time our projected vector is 0, 1, 0. So when we multiply across, what do we end up with as our dot product? -3. So that's the only difference here. So we'll then be looking for the cos inverse of 3 divided by root 38. And just to speed this process up a little faster, for our last one, our dot product, I'll make up a symbol beta. We'll say beta here is our last angle. Okay, is the cos inverse of 5 divided by root 38. If somebody would like to give us a hand. Oh, sorry. There you go. Should be there. You're 100% right. Okay? Who knows what the first one would be here? 119.1. And for our beta, 35.8. Great. Okay, so those are our other two, 119 and 35. Beta being Z, 35. That makes sense. 35 and, oh, lockdown, 119. Boom, that's the end of the video. That's going to be a bit annoying at the end.